Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Sherman Productions. Today, we're back at the trench. It is sunset right now. Evening, very close to twilight, I will say. Just heading to the trench. Oh yeah. Dude, check this beauty out. Holy. You know what? If I could be any type of soldier in the Napoleonic era, I'd probably want to be a sapper. Because sappers are cool. No, but like, last night I was in this trench, and I like knelt down right there, and it was really warm, but then when I got back up, it was really cold, and I was like, yo. So yeah. These are barefoot shoes. It's funny because a lot of my friends, including my coach, says they make me look like a medieval peasant. And I don't disagree with them. In fact, I find that super funny. Super funny. People would get all offended by that. But I'm like, yo, that's kind of cool. So yeah, we're just gonna dig some more. So yeah, fun fact. A sapper is like a more Napoleonic era, like more that time, type of soldier that you would build fortifications, dig trenches, stuff like that. Set up guns, or maybe not set up the guns. But yeah, sapper does build stuff. It's really cool. All right. So, for those of you that don't know yet, I am homeschooled now. Don't worry. Just FYI, none of my friends that are homeschooled are weird at all. None of them. In fact, the wide majority of them I think are like much cooler than me, because they can do so much more than I can. So yeah, a lot more than I can. But I've had enough public schooling to not become weird in the side of a public schooler. But I haven't had enough public schooling for it to completely indoctrinize me. So yeah. And I realize now that I'm a homeschooler that public schooling was, gotta be careful when I say this, quite literally a trap. You hear all of this stuff of, oh, public school is meant to train the workforce. It is. You think, oh, like, what's so big of a deal? Public school is not focused on your success. It's focused on your employability. Not how well you can start a business or run a home or be successful. It's how well you can make a resume and get a job as quickly as possible. And I still didn't understand what was so bad until I got out of public school. So, I don't know. I might be mistaken when I say this, but I think it'll be very hard for public schoolers to understand the situation they're in if they stay in public school. Now, I'm not saying that public school is sinful. I have to put this in there. Public schooling is not sinful at all. I just think it's like... And of course, there are many methods of homeschooling. Some are better than others, right? Like the homeschooling curriculum I'm doing consists of... It's not textbooks. It's living books, all right? Whoa. So, yeah. Everybody knows about the I Survived book series, right? If you've been in elementary school when I was, you would know about it. Like, at least in Texas. I Survived was a thing to read. It was so interesting. You can learn so much from it. So much history you could learn. Right? Out of one book about this about this resistance movement in France, in Normandy, France, I learned about Nadelwerfers, the D-Day landings, the tactics carried out. I learned about C4 and how to detonate it, not how to create it and not how to get my hands on it. And I also learned about the resistance movement, all in one book about this thick. All right, learned about all that history, and it wasn't a textbook. It was not a textbook. It was a living book. And a living book, what that means is it tells it as a story, right? For example, trying to think of an example. Let's just go back to the resistance movement thing again. Like, you could have a textbook and it would say, the resistance movement played a key role in helping the Allies win World War II. Yada, yada, yada. They used C4s to blow up the Nadelwerfers. Stuff like that. You know? Versus me and my fellow group of resistance members knew that what we were doing would have an impact on the Allied effort against Germany. We knew that if we managed to blow up the Nadelwerfers when they fired with C4, we would severely impair the German ability of resistance against the Allies. How would you learn better? Through the second one or the first one? If you say the first one, you're probably wrong, because you're familiar with the first one. You'd probably say, oh yeah, the first one, because I'm used to it. I've been in public school. Or the first one, because I can study it better. But listen, humanity has been, take everything I say with like 500 grains of salt. No, I'm joking. You can take everything I say. I know some people will disagree with me. I'm just putting this information out there. Agree with me or not, most of what I'm saying is true, and if it's not, I'll figure it out later. But yeah, like, listen, humans have been telling stories and have been learning through stories for years and years. Like, before all this textbook jargon and all of these homeschool, all of these public school teaching systems came about, people would learn through stories. Homeschooling also supports a better family ecosystem, a better, like, family environment. Think about it, right? Public school, you're away from home 5 days out of the week, 8 hours a day. 8 hours a day, 5 days a week. That doesn't give much of an opportunity. Huh? What? Yo, wait. What? Guys, chill out. What in the world? Is he dead? I guess, is he sleeping? What in the world? Holy mackerel. This guy was just living underground. What in the world? Is he dead? Hold on. It's weird. Is he dead? I think he's... Wait. Hold on. Do frogs hibernate? Yo. Do frogs hibernate? That might be a smart question or extreme. I mean, there's no dumb question. Here, I'll just put him right. Oh no, he's very much alive. Interesting. I'm not going to put my hand to my mouth or my face or nothing. Just going to have my hands come nowhere near my face from now on. Oh yeah, he's breathing. I can see it. He's very much alive. The frogs hibernating. Holy. Wow. All right. Anyways. Yeah, humans have been learning through stories. And homeschooling also supports a better family system, yada, yada, yada. Away from home a lot. Doesn't give your parents much of an opportunity to, be with you. Stewart, like, this might not be that important to a secular household, but a Christian household, it is so important, right? And I'm not saying if you public school your kids, you're a bad Christian. I'm just saying I think homeschool is so much better than public school in so many different ways. And if you'd ask me one reason I'd return to public school, the people. All my friends, all my good friends. And if you ask me, ouch. Ow. If you ask me if I had any other reason, it'd be forced. So, better family environment. Also, get this. You have more time to do whatever the heck you want. Now, with this fact, dude, I keep thinking I keep thinking I'm hearing my siblings. It's really trippy. Anyways, with this fact, you got to be really careful, because you can do whatever the heck you want. Yeah. After you're done with your school, this can be very, very healthy or very, very dangerous, depending on how you use the time. You could use the time to learn something new, develop a skill, learn to cook, learn to support a household. You could use your free time to plan a hang out with friends. You could use your free time to get closer with God. Right? But you can also use your free time in really, really, really harmful ways. For example, you could just like play video games all day and all night. That's not good. What did I just find? Look at that comb little rock. All right, I'm back here. Hopefully the camera focuses up. Let me check. These darn iPhone cameras, man, they're really good, albeit they're good, but they have so many flaws. Like, this might be destroying the integrity of the trench's wall. Hopefully it doesn't fall apart. Anyways, you could use it to waste your time by playing a bunch of video games. You know, going out and being dumb, stuff like that. There's a spider. What? All right, I think I killed it. Yeah. That's all the homeschooling jargon. I'm loving it. Been in public school for what? 10 years, 7 years. First year out of it. No, well, first semester out of it, I guess you could say. Really loving it. There's that aspect of you have to say goodbye to everyone you know. Goodbye. You can still hang out with them and such. Just won't see them every day. So yeah. I will say though, public school does have some advantages. Well, a lot of advantages, I guess. That being a lot of socialization. A lot of socialization. Albeit most of it is bad. Very bad socialization. Education everybody trusts for the most part. At least big corporate companies, if you get good grades, will trust and stuff like that. It is a very flawed education, but if you make it work, you can make it work. I feel like I'm shoveling coals. You can be salt and light to a lot more people in public school than you can in homeschool. More opportunities to share the gospel when you're young instead of when you're old and out there.